Hey, it's Russ from the Infectious Groove podcast. Coming up today, we are going to talk a little bit of the outskirts of Pink Floyd. Not a rare pressing, but special to me and something I think a lot of people should look into if you're a Pink Floyd fan. Going to talk about Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets live album coming up right after the break. All right, so today we're going to talk about something that is not rare. It's not something you have to run out to Discogs and try and look up the price or anything. At least for now, as of the shooting of this video, this is not rare. It's a commonplace thing that you can go to your local record store and pick up. If you are a Pink Floyd fan, you need to do this. Before I get into that, I want to quickly send a shout out. Much love to the vinyl community. People like Frank Landry at Channel 33 RPM have been huge helps to us. And I really want to send a local shout out to the guys over at the Vinyl Den. They have been very supportive of our podcast, The Show, and very supportive of our podcast channel. Even a couple months ago, they gave us a shout out on their channel, just saying, hey, you should go over and check out our videos in general. And I know that those guys are big Pink Floyd fans, so I want to give a shout out back to them at the start of this video because it heavily involves Pink Floyd. This pressing here is Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets live at the Roundhouse. There's a couple of things I want to talk about the show, but right before I get into that, yes, I always tell you to subscribe to this channel. Yes, I always tell you to subscribe to the podcast, but you should subscribe to the podcast for a big reason to do with Pink Floyd, because Mr. GuyPratt, that is playing bass and handling vocal duties on this here Nick Mason live record, did a interview with us on one of our episodes back in season 1, right before this live record was released. Guy and I talked about everything from Madonna to Michael Jackson to his time with Pink Floyd when he joined, to all the way up into including the release of this live record. So go check that episode out. It's pretty sweet. GuyPratt played on some songs that you probably had no idea he played on. Things like a Virgin by Madonna. A lot of the Crowded House material. He played on Earth Song by Michael Jackson. Beautiful song with a wonderful bass line. That's GuyPratt playing that bass line. So he lately has been up to backing members of Pink Floyd again, which he's been doing since the Momentary Lapse of Reason tour. This time, total gear change from what he's been doing before. This album is a treasure for anyone who loves early Pink Floyd, pre-Dark Side of the Moon Pink Floyd. Actually, the latest they go on this is there's only 2 songs included from Meddle. Everything else is from Piperatthegatesofdawn on up through Meddle. Fantastic material for people who love Pink Floyd, and almost all Pink Floyd fans, when you come to the dance at the Dark Side of the Moon or the Wall or Wish You Were Here, you almost always go back and check out that first material. And for my opinion, I really think that you can hear Pink Floyd becoming a better band on every album. Even if the songs were great on one album, their production gets better on the next. Or even if the production gets great, Roger learned to be a better songwriter on the next album. Or Dave and Roger together learned how to arrange things better. It's just a fantastic journey to go through. And really on this live record, you get that 7-year journey over the course of 2 LPs, which is awesome. First things first, I got to shout out the packaging. Love it. Right here, right now, it might look normal at the camera angle that you're seeing at. It might look like a normal album cover with cool artwork on the back and the set list that we'll get into in a little bit. But if you look at it, you've actually got a huge die cut cover, and this is actually an outer sleeve casing the inner sleeve. We're going to get to this actual gatefold here in a second, but I did shout out GuyPratt earlier, and I wanted to just show that the paper inner sleeves that this comes with shows the other members that are backing Nick Mason in this outing and playing through all of this wonderful Pink Floyd material. And I got to tell you, these guys do a top-notch job. I personally am very critical of anyone who tries to cover Pink Floyd material. I use quotes for cover because when you have a member of Pink Floyd involved, it's kind of dicey on whether you can call it a cover or not, but certainly these gentlemen are stepping in and filling the shoes of David Gilmour, Roger Waters, and most certainly the late, great Rick Wright. And they do a wonderful, fantastic job of covering for those guys. On the actual gatefold itself, just a reprint of what is on the actual cover. Well, actually, shows through the die cut. On the back cover of it, really, really cool newspaper write-up from this show, because this whole performance is taken from one shot. No overdubs, all one concert. And there's a really good newspaper write-up about the actual performance on the back, some thank yous and some credits in there. And then this here is a fantastic gatefold. Attention, anyone putting out live records. This is a fantastic gatefold for your live record. Really shows the show in action. Now, Nick is playing smaller venues than Pink Floyd would because he's not using the Pink Floyd name, and he's not doing the budget of those big laser shows that you would see in the later years of Pink Floyd. And also, this material doesn't warrant all the lasers and the backdrops in the films because Pink Floyd wasn't using any of that in their concert show when they were doing these songs, creating them and playing them live. So great shot of the entire band in action and the stage show itself. I like the inners on the record itself, really cool spiral design. Don't need to show you both because both of them are just a picture of Nick Classic. I want to say that's probably 1972. If I'm judging the handlebar mustache correctly, then that's probably 1972. Cool spiral sleeve on the outside. Just kind of adds to the overall trippy, cool vibe of what they were going for when the material was recorded. As far as the track listing goes on this, if you are a Pink Floyd fan who is Dark Side of the Moon and later, which there's no shame in, this is going to read like songs you've never heard of in your entire life. If you are a Pink Floyd fan who loves the material from the Piper at the Gates of Dawn until Meddle, this reads like a greatest hits. Fantastic set list. Things like Astronomy, Domine, Interstellar Overdrive, Fearless. Wonderful cut from Meddle that doesn't get enough love. I love the fact that he does Obscured by Clouds, and when you're in back-to-back on these, which if you know the album Obscured by Clouds, that's the first two atmospheric tracks that open that record, instrumentals, fantastic. Things like the Rick Wright classic, Remember a Day, the SydBarrett classic, Arnold Lane, a shortened, cool version of the AtomHeartMother suite, the Nile song, and Green is the Color from More. If you are a Pink Floyd fan of those early years and you haven't heard this yet and you didn't know these songs were on here, you're probably jumping for joy right now. Things Childhood's End from Obscured by Clouds. Then some of the classics you would expect to have included one of these days, Set the Controls for the Heart of the Sun. I think it's a brilliant play that they close out the set list with Point Me at the Sky because the end of that song, the lyrics keep saying, all we've got to say to you is goodbye. And they do that and end up stopping the show on the goodbye, which is fantastic. A lot of other songs on here I'm not leaving out. SydBarrett classic, Bike. Fantastic live rendition of Bike included on this LP. If you are a huge Pink Floyd fan, you've probably already listened to this. If you haven't, if you are a huge Pink Floyd fan and you just thought, I just don't know if those renditions are any good, the heart and the soul of Pink Floyd from 1967 to 1972 is on this record. You want to listen to this. If you haven't heard it yet, definitely pick it up while it's still in print. I don't know of any reason why this would go out of print, but when it does, this is going to be one of those Pink Floyd pieces that quickly escalates in price. So this comes with a huge, strong recommendation for me. And maybe if you are that Pink Floyd fan who really only has delved into the Dark Side of the Moon and later, this is a great place to start. Maybe pick this up for the, it's probably going to cost you $25-$30 somewhere because it's a newer pressing at the time of this video being shot. Maybe pick this up and this will take you on a journey through the years, the 6 or 7 years before the Dark Side of the Moon. And maybe you'll find something you like here and then look into those full LPs. And if you're a classic Pink Floyd fan, I can't imagine going on without picking this LP up. So this comes with a strong recommendation from me, and I of course speak for Michelle when I say it as well. Huge Pink Floyd fan. If you listen to the show, Michelle can't get enough of that Pink Floyd music. She listens to this nonstop. This is Nick Mason's Saucerful of Secrets live at the Roundhouse 2 LP collection. Pick it up.